You want to know why?
Yeah. You left here in what year?
1935, wasn't it?
1936.
And why did you come back?
Because I wanted to come back down here. A lot better country.
A lot better in the country.
Yep. I got tired of smelling that old nasty town up there in Indianapolis. That's why.
How long? Hang on.
Microwave. So I just unplugged it from the wall. That's how much I know about their microwave over there. So I had me a party. I had wine and popcorn.
And watched the Republican convention.
Yeah.
You were probably right up there with the big guys,
I
Mamaw.
was right up there with. So
How
the next day or
exciting.
so, Billy and Sue, they live up the road up there. They walked down to the house all night. So they said, "Is Bob wanted home?" And Kelly said, "No." I said, "Well, now there's somebody over there in their house." The lights was on over there.
Yeah, night. They
Yeah,
noticed
walking.
it. Yeah.
And Joan said, "Well, it's Berdine over there." And so Bob said, Mom said, "Next time you were throwing a party and dancing," said, "pull the blind." Because you're walking up down the road seeing you. But anyway, the funniest part about it, I got the stopper out of the wine, but I couldn't get the cork off the thing, you know.
Off the corkscrew.
She couldn't unscrew it.
I couldn't unscrew it. I couldn't get it off. So I just stuck a piece of paper down in that wine bottle and left it laying over on the sink. When Bob wanted to come home, I called back to him. I said, "Did you see your wine opener laying over there with that cork on it?" I said, "I couldn't get that thing off." Bob said, "Well, you want it for run?" I said, "Nah, I didn't stay there that long."
How do you keep having these wild parties?
Yeah.
Oh, Mamaw.
Yeah. Well, good.
What was you want to know about us living down in the holler? Well, we moved down there about right the last of 35.
How old were you when you married Mamaw?
19.
And how old was she?
She was 14.
14. Now, see, I tell people you were, Mamaw was 13.
No,
14.
Okay. And where did you take this budding new bride?
Took her down in a big holler down there.
To a mansion on the hillside, I presume.
I guess down in a
Yeah.
holler.
Mansion in the holler.
Yeah.
No
Two-room
screen.
house,
2 rooms?
running water, run across the branch before you could reach and get it out wading in the branch. And you tuck a bucket full in the house and set it on a table and wash your hands in a pan, throw the water outside.
See, I don't think it's all pop, Joe.
Oh, well, pull it out.
That's,
Well, how come you?
I don't, the bag must have opened, Mamaw. I made a mess.
then we lived down there about a year and then we left from there and
It ain't popped. The bag was open. Maybe that's what's wrong with it.
I bet it was.
Hot, Joe, you burned.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Bag had a hole in it.
We'll have to get that out of there before you pop another one. We better put that on for 5 minutes. The next one will pop.
That is cool.
Yeah. Burn your fingers.
How many kids did you have while you were living here in Tennessee?
2.
2.
Had 2 here.
Well,
no, she had one.
When we left from here, we only had Clarice. That was 1935.
We
So
was
Dan
gone.
got,
now was Clarice born at that house?
yes, no,
Uh-uh.
no. Clarice was born right out here on the road just past where Leon was.
Why was she born on the road?
Well, that's where we lived at that time.
Okay. So
We're
she
stay-
wasn't born on the road, she was born in a house.
In a house.
On the road.
On the road.
Did you have like a midwife or did you do this by yourself?
No, I had
No.
a doctor.
Dr. Wilson. Cost $15.
$15?
Yep. And we left and went to Indianapolis, 35, stayed up there a month or so and come back home. Then we left from up here in November of 1936 and went to Indianapolis and stayed till 1980.
Oh, we was back when Wanda was born.
Well, and during that time, we was back home for about 5 months. And then Clarence was born down here in the same house where
You mean Wanda?
Wanda was born in the same house where Clarence was born in. Dad's old house.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't very much popcorn.
Is that all you got out of that bag?
No, I got a bowl right here.
She's got a bowl right there.
That's for
See?
you.
See,
And,
part of it never even look at it. The majority of it didn't even pop, Joe.
And later on, Everly was born in Indianapolis, 507 Birch. Later on, Leona was born out at
St. Francis Hospital.
St. Francis Hospital.
So,
About
So Lee was the
1945.
hospital-born baby.
Then
Yay!
What a luxury.
1951 or 52, Priscilla was born out there.
Methodist.
At Methodist?
Leona was born in St. Francis.
St. Francis,
Mm-hmm.
and she was born out there at Beach Grove. Priscilla was.
Leona was.
One
Leona
girl-
was. Leona was born in Beach Grove, St. Francis. Priscilla was born in Baptist. In Methodist in Indianapolis.
Yeah, 2 different hospitals.
That's Sarah?
Hmm.
Oh, we got a job for you tomorrow.
And we lived on Birch Avenue till
4.5 apples.
1964, and we left there and went up in Boone County and lived up there for 16 years.
How many houses in Birch did you live in?
Oh, we lived at 507 Birch, we lived at 518 Birch, we lived at 521 Birch, we lived at 542 Birch,
You got 502 birds?
502, 548,
Why did you,
5:30.
and 538 Birch.
why did you live in so many houses?
Cause we rented.
We rented houses, we didn't own any. We finally bought 542 and 544, that's a double.
Okay.
Then we bought 538, that's a single house, side by side.
Let me move the camera. Oh,
Then we sold them and went to the farm, bought a farm up in Boone County.
I want to ask you about things while you were living on Birch Street.
Well, now, I didn't live on Birch Street very much, I worked all the time.
It's up neat.
I have heard that while you were living on Birch Street, you had half the population from Lafayette, Tennessee move in and out with you because people were coming to Indianapolis for jobs. And that sometimes your milk bill would be as high as, and that part I don't remember, would be just totally outrageous because at one time you had so many people living with you, or staying with you, not living, but just staying with you until they got on their feet.
Now, back then, the groceries wasn't that high.
Oh, but milk-wise, wasn't it?
No, we had more milk bill than they lived up the farm. We lived at the farm. About high as 7 gallons a week. 8.
Now, but what Joanne's talking about is when Uncle Kenny lived there, and
Well,
Uncle
yeah.
Hollis lived,
How many
Uncle Hollis lived
people-
there, and
Yeah, how many people still live down here and then eventually came to Indianapolis because that's where you were and stayed with you? How many of your brothers and sisters, or brothers or sisters, or mammals or cousins, or
Well,
Bertie can tell you more about it than I can. I could tell you a lot of people come up there that live with us.
in the time we lived on Birch Avenue, after we bought our own homes, okay? And before.
From time we was, time after we got married, we went to the farm, and when Priscilla left, the first time we was ever at home alone by ourselves.
home alone.
1 year after we was married, the Priscilla was born, and we had somebody with us from there, from then on,
Here, my left breather.
I know.
Battery.
to about a couple of years before we left the farm.
and that was how many years?
40-something years.
So you always had somebody with
Some,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uncle Hollis, Uncle Kenny, Uncle James, Uncle
Hills,
Hildred.
and
Ah,
Charlie and Elise, Cordell and Sylvia.
Poppy and Nanny.
Yeah. And
Now, did they just come and stay with you briefly while they got jobs and got settled, and then
some of them did. Cordell and Sylvia and Elise and Charlie did. And
why did everybody move to Indianapolis? Why didn't they go like to
well,
Cincinnati? or
all their people was up there.
all what people?
Well, like Charlie and Elise up there. Well, Jody was up there, and
Brothers and sisters
Brothers
follow,
and
brothers
sisters
and
and
sisters.
uncles, and Charlie Dawes had Jesse was up there, and he had related up there, so
I'll move there.
a lot of people went up there and worked during the half of summer or winter, come back home, work, made a crop, and come back up there in the fall and go back to work again.
What did you do? What was your job?
No, I worked at Nut Metal, made parts for cars for years, and then I worked for Bridgeport Brass 3.5 years, made shells for the boys overseas.
World War II.
Yeah. And I went back, after that I went to Shelmars and made draper machines for about 23 years.
Drapery machine?
Yeah, put decorator folds in your drapes you send out and have clean. I made them machines. That curtain there was 72 inches. I put them decorator folds in them. Folk put them in there and run it right up. Put them folds in there and dry it. They cleaned them and then they sent them to that machine and it stretched them and put them back to the original length. Yeah, put the pleats in them, and I sent them all over the world. Germany, Australia, Canada, Mexico, everywhere.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, I think there was about 17 of us all told, brothers and sisters, half brothers and sisters.
17 of them.
10 of my brothers and sisters, and 7 half brothers and sisters. Still, 15 of us still living today.
Are they all, or pretty much all still here, or are they scattered?
Well, most of them here, I think there's about 4 or 5. 4 up in Indianapolis, 3 up there,
One in Ohio.
1 in
now.
Ohio. There's 4 up there, 1 in Ohio. Grace is in Indianapolis, and Hilders, and James, and Kenny, and Jess Hollis is up there.
5 up there now.
Yeah, I guess,
His mom went back up there.
yeah. Still 5 left in Indianapolis. Like James and Hilders, they come to their house when they was little boys.
Came to your house in Indiana?
Yep.
How old were they?
James was about 13, wasn't he, Mom, when he first come up there?
I think it's 14. He was about 15 or 16. I don't
Yeah,
know just
13.
how old they was.
Well, he
anyway.
wasn't hardly 14, because he
Yeah.
wasn't old enough to get a job when he first come up there, because James wasn't. Because they lived with us and worked in a restaurant over the stockyard for a couple of years before they ever got old enough to get jobs anywhere else. They worked over at the stockyard in a restaurant and then stayed over there 5 days and then come home over the weekend. So they stayed over there and they got their eats, for a week. And they come back to the house for Friday night. They'd go Sunday night, and then they go back over there and be there, start work the Monday morning.
Did you have twins in your family?
No twins,
No twins.
not in my family. but there is twins in the my dad's sister's side of the people.
How many aunts and uncles did you have?
Oh, I don't know. I had a lot of them. Too many to count.
So it's always been primarily a big family.
Yeah, always.
Now, how about you? I know you've only got really 2 brothers, right?
No.
And
She's
one
only
brother,
got
one
one.
brother.
One
One
brother.
brother.
One brother living, I got twin brothers dead.
That's where you may be thinking about the twins.
Okay, I knew somebody had twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got twin brothers dead. I guess I got one brother living. 2 half sisters.
Which is Mary Lou and
See, Aunt Donnie, that's Dad's sister, she had twins. And Opie, Alpha, Aunt Dolly, they had twins.
There is twins in the Purdue family.
There is? Yeah. There
Purdue
is.
generation. Purdue generation.
no, it's okay. It is the Purdue and not it is both
Both sides,
Purdue
both
and
sides.
the Wooten. Okay.
Right.
What happened to your mother?
Well, she just had pneumonia fever.
Pneumonia. How old was she when she passed away?
Oh, 35 or 36.
And she'd already had 10 kids?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Bertine's mother died when she was 28.
29.
Well, 28 or 29.
And why, how did she?
She died when Hollis was born.
Childbirth.
Do you know why? Any, just for whatever reason at that time?
Didn't have a right kind of
Didn't have the
doctor.
right kind of doctors, and there
No
wasn't no hospitals then, and you know.
Set up the infection inside and killed her.
She was what, in the hospital about 14, 15 days old when she died?
Month old
Month
today.
old to a day.
old. I knew he wasn't very old. Hello? Hi? Oh yeah. About 2:30. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We could have, but we didn't.
Yeah, we lived up a farm for 16 years, up in Boone County. Well, in Boone County. Not
Well,
11,
I was
but
wondering
9
about
miles from my house to Lebanon.
That's true. That's true.
So, I lived in the southern part of Boone County,
Uh-huh.
right down next to the line.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out up there in 1980.
How old was your father when he passed away?
Well, it wasn't hardly 89.
Mm-hmm.
It was close to 89.
Oh, I don't know. It could be. It could be because he didn't eat any
And my
of that food
great grandfather,
today at all.
he was 94.
Mm-hmm.
Now was he the preacher?
That was my granddad.
Better. You might have
was
to
a
take it
preacher.
before then.
He got killed.
How was he killed?
Guy shot him.
Why?
There's no
Just
top?
meanness,
Hmm.
for nothing. He got killed for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he spoke to him.
Now is that the picture?
Mm.
No.
Who's the man and woman in
Oh, that's my
Yeah.
great grandparent.
Yes,
That's off
I
of
don't
Mammy's
know.
side of the people,
I did.
not Pa's.
Your dad did. Well, my figure that.
Cause he just didn't want Pa to speak to him, and Pa said he couldn't live a Christian life and pass a man on the street or on the road and not speak to him.
And what year was
Mhm.
this?
1940.
That was that late and people were still shooting each other?
Well, yeah, sure, they still kill one another today.
I mean, yeah, but there for a while it became sort of uncouth to kill people because they looked at you cross-eyed or something.
Well, a lot of them did yet.
Was he killed down here in Lafayette?
Killed down here in Mill Holler. Going down to the old water mill.
Is it still called Mill Holler today?
Well,
Yeah.
that's where they had an old water mill down there, and he went down there and take his corn down there and get ground to have cornbread. And a guy rode up down there and and my granddad spoke to him, and he told him, he says, I told you I didn't want you to speak to him, and just threw the turn off on and left. Never said nothing. And when my granddad got his and ground and went out, he went home and got his gun and come back, waited in the woods till he come along and shot him.
Was there anybody with him?
Nobody.
Did anything happen to that man? I mean,
Got 6 years out of it in the pen. 2 to 6. Stayed there about 2 years and he got out.
find that unreal and happening in 1940.
Well, it's happened like that a lot of times. People get killed over nothing.
What was your life like as a child? I mean, growing up?
Worked every day. Time I got big enough to crawl.
Did you work in the fields?
Yes, I did.
On the farm.
I worked for morning, go to school in the evening, and the next day I'd go to school in the evening and work for morning.
And what kind of school did you attend?
That's what I told him.
The old country school, what little I got, I didn't get that much.
Was it just like a one room?
That's what I told
No,
him.
it was a big room. Hold 50 or 60 kids, maybe more than that.
But it was a one-room schoolhouse.
One room schoolhouse, but benches down one side for the girls and the boys are down the other side. You all sat in the same school building.
No matter what level of education you had, everybody just kind of. How did the teacher teach?
They okay? The little kids, the primer all sat one place, and they had their class.
I don't know either.
Then she'd call the first graders up. They had their class on reading.
Well, I don't know.
And the third grade, they'd go up and read. The fourth grade, they'd go up and read. And they went to the 8th grade in reading.
Because I didn't do it.
And they went from the little kids in spelling or whatever they done to the 8th grade in spelling. And it went on like that all day long. And she come on up to your whatever class you had.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Reading, arithmetic, geography, English, and
What year was this? 19?
That's right.
anywhere from, I think I started about 19 and 20, 23
No,
or
he
24 I started school. And I was
Yeah.
on up in the 20s and 30s. And it
Yeah.
went on like that,
He had it out, I didn't.
probably up to about 35 in that one school building. Then they built a new school out here in 37. So where they had 2 different rooms out there.
I don't know what happened to it either.
All the schools in this country was one big one-room house.
In the 30s?
Yeah, from the 20s, come on up into the 30s. Had one little bench. You sat there and
Well,
that
we go
the
try
back
that.
of that their seat up there was
Well, the
your
mail that your dad
what
was
you worked
expecting,
on.
it
Like
didn't
you were
come.
sitting on that side of the
So
in the
if it
seat.
comes, you know, be sure to
The
pick
back
it
of
up
that was
and let anything happen
was
to it.
my desk.
Yeah,
You had somebody else was sitting beside of you.
yeah.
2 people could
Yeah.
sit. You had one seat here.
No, no.
Had another one right
We're
there.
just gonna go from here over to
2
Virginia.
people sat on each seat.
Okay.
Then they had it all up in the front of up in the room, had one big blackboard all the way across. And you went up there and whatever you wanted to do,
I had to be back at work.
whatever you had to do, well, you could go up there and work a problem out.
Now, did they consider this like 1st grade through 8th grade?
Right,
And then that was at that point as high as your education went?
there. Then you went to town to high school.
Okay, so there was high school, really?
Yeah, in Lafayette.
How many kids out of your immediate family went on to high school? Did you go on to high school?
No, I
Yeah.
never even get through. I never got this past 5th grade. I quit school. I had to work all the time. You can't learn nothing. You got to go to school half a day today and half a day tomorrow and half a day the next day.
It's true, you
Yeah.
can't keep up.
No,
Well, that's good.
can't keep up.
How many of your brothers and sisters?
None of them.
None?
Oh, we're just
I don't
sitting
think
here
that many
talking,
of them ever
Joanne,
went
and
plumb
one of
through
the kids
to
down
high
there.
school.
No,
Even the
This
younger
evening.
ones?
None of them.
until Thursday.
How, what year was, or how old,
Okay.
what am I?
Huh?
What's
No,
your
I'm
youngest
not sure to have any
brother
names.
or sister age-wise
Uh-huh.
to you? I mean, because with
No,
that
because all the
many
machines
kids,
were
there has
down.
to be a lot of age difference. You're
Alright.
the second from the oldest, right?
All right. There's about a year and a half between us all, the 10.
I got a key, so I don't know when we're
Okay,
paying
so the youngest child at this point
Let's
is
change locks.
what?
Well, Mildy, I was born 19 and
That's
15.
true.
Mildy was born 19 and
Okay.
35.
All right, hon.
From 15 to 35.
Okay.
That's 20 years span.
So 35. So really, your oldest or youngest brother or sister, right?
Sister,
Is the same age as your oldest child, really.
no, she's not as old.
Just about.
Just about. Clarence was born in 35 and she was born in 35. But
Yep.
Clarence was born in April and she was born in June. There's 6 weeks difference between them.
How many?
And also, Mama nursed her mama's last baby
Why?
Well,
because she wasn't old enough
she
when
was-
Mama died. She's only 10 months old.
Oh,
till we got her to eating. I nursed her in first bowl.
okay. Now this is your
Baby
real
sister.
Sister.
Baby sister.
Okay. What about your half sister?
Oh, I don't know. Now,
Well, now the half sister
the same age as
is
you,
about the same age as you.
That's me.
Joanne. Yeah. Same age as you.
Uh-huh.
You and Joanne's about the same age.
That's frightening.
Well, that's
Well,
I mean, okay. How old was your father's second wife?
When they
same.
got
I was
married,
4 days older than her.
she's the same age as Daddy. When they got married, so how old was she when they got?
How old was your father and how old was?
I don't know. I don't know how old Ellie was. Well, she's 1937, and she's born 1915.
And they got married 37.
Yeah.
She
Right late
20.
36.
36
born
and
15.
About 21 or
22
22
years old.
And
About
your,
22
and your
years
father
old.
was how old?
He had to be.
At
Well,
that-
he was born in 1895.
Although that's
94.
He is calculated in my head. How old was he when they got married? He was.
he was born 18 what?
1894, and they got married when she was 21 in
37.
1930,
37 years, and then he was 40 something years old.
40-some years old.
Yeah.
And she had
7 children.
children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, was their lifestyle any different than what your half brothers and sisters was their lifestyle any different than what yours was?
Might have been a little bit different.
Because of
The change of the time.
right.
So, yeah. Because people made a little bit more money. They got more for the stuff they raised, you know. People worked different.
But really, it always continued to be a farming
Yeah,
family as such.
yeah, right. Yeah, he raised 17 kids. Really, 16, because my brother was under me, next to me. He died when he was about 14 or 15 months old.
And why did he die? Illness?
He had some kind of disease on his head and killed him.
But
They never did know what it was. Doctors didn't know.
Doctors weren't as well educated back them days as they are now.
well, yeah, technology's changed even
Yeah.
within the
Right.
last 10 years.
Boy.
So
Yeah,
You can imagine.
how primitive it was then.
Yeah.
right.
Did you and
His head got solid sore. Just a mass sore. Oh, from here up. I remember just like it was yesterday. I could see his little head, just solid mass of sores all over his head.
but he was physically, I mean,
Yeah, he was,
arms and legs and everything.
oh, he was, yeah, he'd walk around. He was running the house with that head like that.
So he felt fine and his head
Yeah.
was just sore and then
Just the day before he died, he just got took sick one day, and he was in the bed, and they woke me and Grace up about midnight and said Willard at the point of death, and so we got up.
back then what did you do during funerals? I mean, did you go to like a funeral?
No. They come in there and dressed them at home, brought a casket over, and come to your house and put them in a hearse and took them to the cemetery,
Or to the church house for
church house down there, and had the service
And then on to the burial.
on up there to the cemetery. They used to hold all service down there in that church house, Underwood.
How many relatives roughly do you have down?
Oh, there's a lot of them down there. I couldn't.
But it's aunts and uncles.
Oh yeah, granddad, uncles and aunts, dad, mom, sisters, brothers, uncles and aunts. And I wouldn't even know how many I do have buried down there. Quite a few.
And now, are they all under the name of Purdue or?
Well, some of them is, and some of them's under
their married name.
the married name. Like all my mother's, her brothers and sisters, they're drivers, and the women married behind them. Some of them married, and some of them didn't get married, had kids.
So your mother's maiden name then was Driver. Right?
No. Mm.
Your grandmother you meant was a driver.
Yeah, my grandmother.
Your grandmother's maiden name was a Driver.
All right.
What was your mother's maiden name?
Well, it's some calls them Clyburns and some calls them Cleburns. It's the name. One to other of them changed their name.
What was your mother's name?
Dorothy.
Gerthy?
Mm-hmm.
Gerthy?
Clyburn.
No middle name?
Dorothy May.
Gerthy May. What was your father's full name?
Ezra Mack.
Ezra Mack? Okay. Did you ever, and I may be dreaming of somehow or another, did you ever run gin whiskey or?
Oh yeah, I made a lot of whiskey.
Because there's a picture of you that really stands out in my mind. You're standing, you've got a suit on with this real wide brimmed hat, and you've got your one leg up on the bumper of this old car. And I would love to have that picture.
I don't even know where it's at.
It's a picture that I saw when you were up at the farm. And at that time, and you must have been just 19, maybe 20 years old, because I saw a picture of Mammal too.
Well, that was after we went to Indianapolis.
Yeah,
That's around in the 40s.
it was.
Cause I didn't have no car.
When did you run? How old were you when you were running whiskey? Was it whiskey or?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't run it though. We just made it and sold it.
You made it and sold it.
Right.
In a dry county, or is this during Prohibition, or?
Right here in this county, Macon County, where I run it, where I made it at.
How would you find people? I mean, would people just like come up to you and ask you if you had any and you wanted to sell it, or did you have regular customers? It was like a
We sold a lot of it to one man.
to one man, and then he in turn.
Right, he let it go.
Did you make it like in a still up on the
Got a big copper outfit
up in the hills?
back in the hills.
Was it against the law?
Yep.
Was it good money? Is that the reason you did it?
Huh?
Was it at that time good money?
Yeah, it was, sure.
Okay. Did your family do this or?
Just me and Dad.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if this was like uncles and just the two.
Yeah. Now my granddad used to worked at a federal still when he was a young man. When he was a young man, 18, 19 years old, he worked down here at a federal steel, had government run it. Just like you had a job, a government place.
But what you were doing
Was making moonshine.
moonshine
Yeah.
on the side.
Yeah, on the side. Behind the law.
Did you have to be careful? I mean,
Yep.
what would have happened had you gotten caught?
Well, we just went to penitentiary.
For jail.
Jail,
Paid off.
or maybe the pen.
Joanne, I throwed your popcorn box.
That's okay.
No, that's just the way it was. We made it 2 or 3 years, 4.
Just
We didn't run a lot, but just so many barrels every month or so. Every 4 or 5 weeks we'd run off 4 barrels.
how old were you when you did that?
How old was it? Oh, about 15, 16, 17 years old.
And then you came to Indianapolis when you were. So you weren't married then.
No,
How did you meet Mama?
I was raised up with her.
That's all right.
We got engaged when she was 9 years old.
How can you get engaged when she's 9 years?
Well, we said we was gonna get married when she was 14.
9?
What's your mom? Right.
How did you know? I mean, I can't envision a 9-year-old saying, "Yeah, that's a man I'm gonna marry."
Well, that's what we decided.
Well, now, you know what, Joanne? I was more matured at 9-year-old, and a lot of people are this day and time at 40. Because that's the way I was raised.
She was raised around older people.
I was taught things. When my mama died, I had to take over doing everything.
How old?
That
She was 10.
I was 10-year-old. That was cooking. That was milking cows. That was doing laundry, cleaning the house, going to school. I'd done everything I had to do. Because my grandmother, that was Mammy Dawes, I called her in, all she done was sit over Hollis. Because we didn't think the Hollis was going to live. Because he wasn't nothing but just a little skinny, nothing but hardly skin and bones.
Skin and bones. She was really. When he slept with us tonight, we got married.
So I had to work.
How old were you when Bobby remarried?
I was 10.
So he remarried.
Yeah, he remarried my sister.
See, Mama died in February, no, March.
Yeah.
And him and Mom got married, I think, in August.
Yep. March, April, May, June, July, and August, 5 or 6 months, about like Dad.
After my mom died, until Dad got married again. And I know more about cooking and keeping house than she did.
Because she had never done that.
She never done that. She didn't want to work.
She lived with Pa and Mammy named Babe, and they done all the work.
Now, why did she not live at home with
Well, just 'cause Aunt Babe, Aunt Babe didn't have no kids, and she just liked Gracie, and
She just took her.
she'd take her down home and keep her dated. She'd get ready to nurse. She'd bring her back up to Mama and let her nurse, take her back to the house.
It's when you have that many kids, you don't miss
Well, she didn't have none but one. She didn't have none.
She didn't, but your mom did.
Yeah, when your mom had that many kids, she really didn't miss one.
She didn't have none when she had Gracie.
Well, that's true too. That's true.
That was her first one.
Annie Bill.
Then I come along later. Well, see, Aunt Babe now raised Gracie. I don't guess she stayed all night at Dad's place. 10 nights in her life.
Now, was Aunt Babe's life easier? I mean,
They worked. She worked.
now they worked
Farm.
farm.
Can. Put up everything in the world they could put up. Made a backer crop, corn crop.
So it wasn't. Why didn't they have children?
Huh?
Well, see, that was Pop Purdue and Mammy Purdue. Aunt Babe was one of their kids they did have. But all of them got married off except for her.
But
Aunt Babe.
But
Aunt
Aunt
Babe
Babe.
never did get married.
She never did get married.
She stayed home with her parents.
Stayed with them till both died, and they sold the place out from underneath her. So then she stayed with Grayson. She stayed with us 1 year up the farm. She stayed with Cleon.
Now, didn't Aunt Babe live with some lady, Lola? Now, who's Lola?
Lola Dawson. That was Cass and Lola. She stayed with them for a long time.
Yeah, over on Sanders Street.
Yeah.
See, that's my only.
And see, Aunt Donnie stayed with Lola too. Aunt Donnie stayed with Lola for a long time.
Now, what did you do? You didn't always work at blocks, did you? Or did you have you?
I was,
Yes. You always working late.
No, she didn't. She worked the
I
grocery
worked at the
store
grocery store. I was a cashier for Max grocery store for my bed.
4 or 5 years. Yeah.
That was after Priscilla got up big enough to go to school, wherever I went to work.
So you really.
I worked a little bit at Bridgeport Brass, and I worked a little bit at Z-Night Metal. Well, I did work a little bit at RCA, but just a few days at a time, and I stayed home with kids till they all got in school.
Got big enough to take care of the set. She really didn't start working until after Priscilla got.
Till Priscilla got in school.
Yeah.
That's when I started working. I went to work for Max grocery store, and then I left there and went to Blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I worked at.
How long were you at blocks? Forever?
No. No. Well, I was there a little bit better than 20 years.
What did you start out doing? Just
In the mail room.
No, I started out in the mail room. They used to have a mail room. Started out in the mail room. Left there and went as a cashier. And then from the cashier to the warehouse.
so you didn't always work at, what was it, 14th and Millboro?
No, I didn't always work there.
Worked downtown.
Worked
the big.
downtown the main store. See, they didn't have no branch stores when I went to work for them.
That's true.
Just one store.
No, they didn't do that warehouse work. Right.
Probably you hung wallpaper.
Oh yeah,
What else did you do besides hanging wallpaper?
nothing much. Just walk with me and my buddy. We hung a lot of wallpaper.
How? So you'd work, what, 40 hours at your job and then you turn around?
Worked every night, 3 to 4 hours. Wallpaper. Every Saturday and Sunday.
Right in here.
We'd work all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Paper. Then we'd paper one room every night.
How much would you charge?
50 cents a roll for putting the paper on. Running around about $18, $20 a room.
And that was in the 50s?
Yeah. A lot of it, the early 50s. We done a lot of it in the 50s. Dug ginseng.
Digging ginseng
Yep.
root, right?
Yep.
Not dirty looks. Not dirty looks. That's okay, Mel. What else can you tell me?
That's about all I know.
Tell me some good stories.
I ain't got no good story.
What's your favorite Papal story, Lee?
What's my favorite Papa story?
I ain't got no
See?
stories.
Even Lee said there's so many. I know there's, I mean, I brought 2 blank tapes, and I know he talked 4 hours.
I like to hear him talking about when him and Poppy and Papa Purdue, you know, used to get out hunting, and or him and George Sanders hunting with their bread and, you know, their pieces of meat and stuff like that. I like them. I like them kind of stories, you know.
Hunting? Hunting where?
Hunting or fishing out all night, you know, fishing out here down here on Long Creek, cooking their fish out on open fire and stuff like that. Them kind of stories I like, you know.
I like to hear that.
And I like the story about the time he was out and got so drunk when him and Mom was living off down here in a holler. Cold weather and
No, that's me and Riley.
yeah, him and Uncle Riley out of drinking. Both of them drunk. What were you drinking? Moonshine.
Moonshine.
Oh, okay. Moonshine.
No, he come down there in the holler, and we lived down here in the holler. Come down there one evening. He had a part of a quart can full. He sat up before the fire all night that night and finished drinking that quart. Well, the next morning we left, we had traps sitting back on punching over in there. And the snow about 8 or 10 inches deep. So we got on his old mule, took off, had that half a gallon can tied in a grass sack on the saddle. We got over there to a steel trap and somebody had stole one of our boxes. So we tracked him up. Well, we both got mad. We started drinking that half a gallon. So when we got to the home, I was loaded. I stopped up here at a little old grocery store, and snow was about knee deep, half knee deep. And where I'd go from one side of the road to the other, and I got home and I waded the branch and fell in the door and I got home.
And Mel was there waiting for you with open arms, right?
She drugged me in the house and let me lay on the floor. That's what she done.
How did you have 2 rooms? How do you live in 2 rooms?
Well, there's a big one.
Yeah.
Big room, 17, 18 feet room, see?
18 foot square?
Yeah. Big room. We lived and ate and cooked all in the same room.
I would say there are several big companies out there that's competing
Yeah.
with this. I think we got the contract because of the quality of the product that we produce.
And in the wintertime, you brought your beds in there. Cause you only had one fireplace. It was big enough you could set one bed in one corner, and set the other in the other, and set the table up there, and stove over in the other, and a fireplace, big room.
Just do it all in one room, really?
Big as this thing right here, every bed of it, big. Around about 20, it's probably around about 20 feet wide.
What kind of not dining room table, but what kind of a kitchen table would we have?
Well, me and my granddad made it out of tongue and groove poplar. My granddad helped me make my own table, and we used Coy and Grace's old chairs, old kitchen chairs like that one like that moon sitting over yonder, just on the chairs, regular old chairs. I got one of them downstairs me and her had. Pa wouldn't sold chairs.
Did that pop any better, Joanne? All right, very good. We just didn't set it to pop. All right. Lee, what are you winding up with? Milk and bread?
Not gonna need it.
Well, what about the sofas? Do you have sofas and chairs and
What's that?
I mean,
What was a sofa? Straight back chairs, what you
Straight
said
back
in.
chair like that and sit right in there.
Like that one sitting right over yonder.
That's what you said in, Joanne.
Did he tell you that our table that we went out to housekeeping on was homemade?
Homemade.
out of poplar.
Yeah.
Pappy Dawson gave me a piece of poplar, was about so big, about a 6 or 8 inch piece of poplar. We sawed it from one corner, about 2 inches over, to 2 inches at the other corner. Then we cut that into, made 4 table legs out of that. And we put poplar pieces across it, nailed, put them there tongue and groove top on it. It was Uncle Dewey down there got it after his house burnt. He had it down there for a long time. After their house burned, he come and got it, and they used it for a long time. It's made
And
good.
you know, Joanne, in our kitchen, we had a little, this table was made. And nothing was made, I mean, you know, except we did buy a new stove, cook 'em, wood stove. And we had a little table that we kept our water bucket sitting on and the washpan sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
We had garbage cans, like these tin garbage cans you've seen, red big tall ones, as big as the plastic ones now. We had 2 of those. One of them was for flour, the other one was for meal. That's what I kept my cornmeal
That's
and
what
flour
everybody
in.
had back then.
I had a tin-doored safe, which belonged to my dad and my mother, that I kept my dishes in. And
Two
we had-
beds.
We had the stove, those 2 barrels in there, or cans, and the table, and 6 chairs, and that one little table that we had to keep our water, and the washpan sitting on that you washed.
What kind of a wedding ceremony did you have? I mean, was it just go to the church and...
One night we went to Pa's, went to his house and got him up, told him he walked right out on the porch and married me and her. My granddad married us.
Okay.
And he also married one of his other grandsons. He married 2 of his grandkids. 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Why 1 o'clock
Well,
in the
okay,
morning?
that's a long story.
I mean, what were you doing from whatever until 1 o'clock in the morning?
Well, see, I went out to her pappy to see her, long about 10 o'clock, was it, on Sunday or Saturday.
Sunday.
But anyway,
Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. Sunday, yes.
see,
Started out one day and went into the next from the sounds of it.
but anyway, see, we had everything fixed up to get the license. And I had hers fixed up, and Gracie signed Coy's name to her so she could get hers. Well, now I wanted to get mine, and I was supposed to brought it home, let Dad sign it, but I didn't. I stayed up at my granddad's. That night I signed Dad's name to it and took it back over there to courthouse to get them. So I had to have a witness. So my granddad and the other granddad, off my mother's side of people, or step-grandfather, well, had an office right straight across. I went over and I said, I actually went over and I said, will you sign my marriage license? He looked at it. That date was yesterday. He knowed I didn't go home. He knowed Dad hadn't signed it, so he wouldn't sign it. So he called Dad and told him. So that knocked that up for about 2 weeks. So Bertine's uncle, I was out there that day and he said, you kids still gonna get married? I said, yeah, we're gonna get married. We had to go to Kentucky and get married. Well, we wasn't going to Kentucky. So he takes off. He got Coy and Dad and got them loaded. So about 11:30, 12 o'clock that night, we went to town. We went and got the guy up to come to courthouse so they could sign the license. We got the license and come back, went and got Bertie, come to Pa's and got married about 1 o'clock in the morning, and went back out to Pappy Doctor's.
How were you doing all this traveling?
Model D Ford.
Yeah. Just went from out there Pappy out to Pa's, she did, but we went to town in a T-model Ford and back.
After it was all said and done, everybody sobered up. What happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Done too late then. We was done married.
Nothing happened.
Why didn't your father want to sign for you?
Well, 'cause we was both underage. She was 14 and I was only 19.
What was the age at that time?
That'd be 21.
Oh, okay.
18 for girls and 21 for boys. Just like it is now.
That's why it was.
That's how you got married.
But anyway,
That's
when
how
my
both dads run. Got them to sign the license. That's the heck of a way to do it.
But anyway, my granddad either called me Ezra, Herbert, or Leslie in all that ceremony.
He never called you gentlemen?
No, did he, Mom? Never did. Ezra, will you take out the straw? You know. But that's all he always called me, one to the other of them. He never called me nothing else, that's one of the boys.
Huh. Well, you all probably ain't even legally married then. He thought he was marrying Leslie or Herbert or Ed.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they are, since they were both underage.
Yeah, there was,
well, you got the right signatures.
Yeah.
So.
Finally.
Yeah.
We're not saying how they got them, but
See, if I'd have come on back home, if I'd have come on back home that day, and then went to Pa Bandit's and stay all night, I didn't want to come back home and then had to go back town the next day, see? So I just stopped off there, you know, put my horse up, and think, well, I'll just stay here at my house, wait till in the morning I'll go back over, and that night I signed Dad's name to him. I could sign it too, just like Dad. I'd signed his name so many times, Purdue. But when no quicker than Pa seen that signature and the date on there, he said, you didn't go home last night, you signed them yourself. I said, yeah, I did. He said, I ain't gonna sign them. So he got on the phone and called Dad. Then it took us about 2 weeks before we got them.
Really sneaky. You tried. Were you guys
Well, we'd have been
grounded or
closer.
something
We'd have been
the
closer
next
to
2
14
weeks after?
or 14 years old. We'd have have been but 2 or 3 days after that, was it, Mom? If I'd have got the license.
What's that?
If I'd have got them when I first went up there. March the 6th. We got married the last day of April, so.
Just barely 14.
Yes, she was just a little over 14, cause I don't know, it might have been a month, mightn't it? Longer, before we ever got them.
I don't know.
I know it wasn't too long, but.
A lot of water went down White Oak Creek since then.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get the land down here? Did somebody like give it to you, or was it part of your family, or part of?
I didn't get no land down there.
Okay, did you
I
rent
bought
that
it.
house?
Oh,
Or
I rented that.
you rented that? You paid money for that
No,
house?
just rented the farm. Worked on the farm. You got the house and barn
Okay.
when you rent the farm.
They got so much out what you raised for the rent of the,
For the house.
yeah.
You just rented, give him a third of the crop what you made on it. And you got the house and barn to
Who
live in.
owned it? Who did you rent from?
Driver,
Cozy driver.
Cozy driver. Yeah, see, after Mom died, we went out there. We moved, then we went back after Mom died, see. We moved up out there, and then after Clark's was born down there, and then after Mom died, we moved back out there.
Alan, when did your father go to Indianapolis?
Mm.
34,
Yeah,
About-
in there.
about 34.
In the early 30s, I don't know exact when, but anyways. in the-
After Mary Lou was born, you know, Gracie had the typhoid fever when Mary Lou was a baby.
We went there in 36, and Dad had been up there a couple of years.
What did he do?
Well, when he first went up there, he worked for construction. He helped build a Chevrolet plant. He also worked at the International Harvester back then. I don't think it's that anymore. I don't think they've done any of that. I think it was something
They
else.
built Ritter High School.
He worked construction.
Allison, number one plant out there in 16th Street, he built one of them plants.
He has to work on them. Yeah, Bill Ritter High School, worked at Chevrolet plant, Allison, International Harvester.
The RCA. He dug the first hole under that new Chevrolet plant over there. Oh, he did it.
So he worked construction then? He worked it all his life?
No, he worked for H.C. Shellmar. He got a
I
job
never did
there.
work on construction work. I
You
worked
did.
at Unite Metal and
Did.
Bridgeport Brass and H.C. Shellmar all the time I was up there. 3 places.
Benjamin Schaefer's where Poppy worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he got his fingers cut off.
Yeah, that's where
Running
he
a
worked.
press. Benjamin Schaefer, some kind of press of some sort, wasn't it?
Yeah. And a roller. Rolling metal.
That's right. See, I had forgotten that he was missing his fingers until you just mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
They was rolling a piece of metal, boy, and it. Glove got caught on it.
Yeah.
He just had one finger and part of and his thumb on one hand, didn't he? If I remember right. Wasn't that how it was? And all?
He had on one hand,
Oh, a little finger. His
he
little.
had 2 fingers and a thumb on one hand.
Yeah.
And he had nothing on, he had all these cut off here, he had this one and the little one
Yeah.
on the other. He had 2 fingers was cut off when he was 6 years old.
some guy chopped him off with a chopping axe.
Why?
'Cause he was sticking his finger on, see, his mama had cut a turkey's head off for Thanksgiving and left a hatchet on the block. These two kids is out there playing with that hatchet, and Coy says you can't hit them, jerk them back. You can't hit them, jerk them back. And finally the kid hit him and cut him off.
And he was 6 years old?
6 years old when he got the first two fingers cut off.
With the axe,
Hatchet,
that's it.
yeah. Then he got the rest of them right there rolled off over there when before he retired.
Did it disable him? I mean, did he have to change jobs or
Nope.
Nope.
they just kind of healed up and went back?
Yeah, he worked. He worked on a farm and come down here like that.
When did Poppy and Danny move back down here? 60.
68.
No,
No.
they get 65.
Well,
65 they moved back down here.
they moved back and forth.
Yeah, they was back and forth.
They was
a lot of
backwards and
times,
forth.
But anyway,
They lived down
when
here
they come
in the
down here,
40s.
it's 65.
They lived down here whenever Lee was 5 years old.
Why did they move back and forth so often?
Well, he just get out of work and move back down there for still a while, and then move back to Annapolis.
Just kind of back in them days, you just kind of had to go where the work was, you know. Didn't find no work and come down here and farm and try to make a little living. And
Yeah. Just like a lot of people from a farm, they'd work a while. Where's I'll take some out there of pudding.
Oh, you will?
Pudding.
Ain't pudding.
Yeah, just like a lot of them. Just like I done. March. We left them up there in March and didn't come back down here and made a crop down here. Went back in August, went back to work.
Would you just rent a house and then live there for a while and
Stayed down there where Mammy, one of Mammy's houses, where Dad used to live.
How much of this you want, Purdue?
Just give me some. You want some more pudding, Lynn?
No, tell me don't believe it, do.
You want any ice cream in this?
No, I don't know ice cream.
That spoon puts your mouth.
Now,
tell us about shooting your deer out the window? That's a good story. Shooting deer out the window.
Oh,
People can't hardly believe me when I tell them that.
sitting at the dining room table,
Yeah, sitting at the dining room table, got a deer.
you're out the window, on the hill.
How did you see it? I mean, do you always look out the dining room window for deer?
Yeah.
Just wait for them and then pop?
yeah. Yeah. Shoot them out the winter. I was Lynn, them here first one I ever killed.
How many times have you done it?
Twice.
See, I thought you'd only done it once.
You got a seed in your mouth?
I went under my plate, I got to put it out.
Figures you did out. Yeah, I won't get nightline. No.
They've just always been a great inspiration in our lives, and they've just really been, they've inspired us to do what even the style that they've been in. It's really wonderful to be part of testimony and cleaning that kind of music.
The concert starts Saturday at 7 with special appearances by the Kentucky Headhunters and a whole list of
That that thing's running a lot, you ain't getting nothing on it.
You'd be surprised.
Huh?
You'd be surprised.
Well, it picked up that there TV in there. Appreciate all, maybe tomorrow I might think of something other else.